This is Brian of Trifonic, and today I'm going to talk about the benefits of creating your own multi-sampled instruments for EXS24 or Contact or any other software sampler. A lot of the time, the instruments that are available for sale, with good reason, they're extremely clean, and that's great because they're malleable and they work in almost any context, and you can shape it to the context that you want. And usually that's ideal. But sometimes, if you want something that has a bit more character, it's nice to sample things yourself and not worry about necessarily getting the cleanest recording in the most pure environment, but actually that all the little variations that happen because of your environment and even because of some sloppiness in terms of your recording or your setup, a lot of times that can add character to the sound. So an example I have here is I made a multi-sample kit of, we've got a Roland SH09, and so what I try to do is basically sample several octaves from C1 up past C6 of each note, and just have the filter move and play around in different positions. So there's not like any, I did this by hand, like where I'd play the note, move the filter on the SH09, and for each note I ended up doing it differently, and I didn't worry about it trying to be consistent or the same, and actually that variation turned out really nice. So if I play a few notes from this, so it has a nice, analog sound. It sounds exactly like the SH09. What's nice is each different note has different filter movement, so it ends up sort of making a pretty complex sound. And the other benefit is actually that the SH09 only allows you to really play one note at a time. So it's not a polyphonic synth, so you can't play chords on it. So, and also the one that we have is a little bit broken. The keyboard doesn't really respond that well. So it's just much easier to work with it in EXS24 or Contact. Another thing that we do is sometimes with our, if we have a vocalist and we record them, we'll just pull out certain notes that are sustained and make a kit from that. So here's our kit of David Forrest, just different notes, and they're not totally mapped out chromatically. So you can view here, these will light up when I play the notes. So we just picked notes that were evocative and that emotionally sort of or interesting, and then that ones that work together. So you can play a few of these, and with that you get nice harmonies, and that's it's like, and they're unexpected harmonies as well, and that's kind of nice because as great as it is to have chromatic instruments, and most of the time that's very useful. It's also nice to sometimes have things that just work in one particular context. So this kit is more or less all in one key, and I like playing different combinations of notes because I get unexpected chords, but they always work if a song is in this particular key, or I can transpose this instrument as well. There's certain notes in there, like this one, that in of itself are just so moody and good. I use it all the time, probably overuse it, but the good thing about that is then it becomes sort of a signature sound. So I don't feel too guilty about using this in 5 or so different songs or more, because then it becomes sort of a Trifonic trademark. In any case, I don't think there's any problem with developing certain sounds that you use and reusing them again, and using like a sample kit that you made is a good way to do that. And with this kit, you can hear that there's a lot of reverb and that it pans a bit. So that's all included in the kit. With each sample, I printed it with reverb and panning automation on it, just because I wanted it. I really liked the sound, and I just wanted it to be the same every time. So that makes it less versatile in some ways, in that it's always, forever going to have this reverb on it. But it's when you have a beautiful moment, it's nice to be able to just capture that and reuse that again and again.